The Stranger on the Train. Tom was going home for the weekend. He was 20 years old and studied history at a university in London. The train was full of people, but there was one empty seat next to a man in a grey coat. Tom sat down. The man didn't look at him. He was holding a black bag on his lap, very tightly, with both hands. Tom noticed this because it was strange. Most people put their bags on the floor or on the seat next to them. This man held his bag like it was full of eggs. "Is this seat free?" Tom asked, even though he was already sitting. The man looked up quickly. His eyes were red, like he hadn't slept. "Yes," he said. "It's free." Tom took out his phone and started reading messages from his mother. She wanted to know what time his train arrived. He typed, "Arriving at 6 p.m, don't worry." Then something happened. The man's phone rang. He answered it fast, like he was waiting for the call. "Did you find her?" the man said quietly. "Is she safe?" There was a pause. Tom tried not to listen, but the train was quiet, and the man's voice was full of fear. No, don't call the police," the man said. "Not yet, I'll handle it. I'm on the train now." He ended the call and put his head in his hands. Tom looked at the black bag on the man's lap. His heart started beating faster. "Handle it! Don't call the police! What is he carrying?" He thought about moving to another seat. But the train was full, and there was nowhere else to go. Tom decided to say something, not because he was brave, but because he was too curious to stay quiet. "Excuse me," he said. "Are you okay? I heard... I'm sorry. I didn't mean to listen." The man looked at him for a long moment. "My daughter is missing," he said finally. "She's 15. She left home 3 days ago. Nobody knows where she is." Tom felt his fear change into something else, sympathy, but also more curiosity. "I'm sorry," Tom said. "That must be terrible for you. Have you told the police?" "I don't trust them," the man said. "They're slow. They ask 100 questions and do nothing. I need to find her myself." "But how? Where are you going?" The man opened his bag slightly. Tom's whole body went tense. But inside there were only papers, photos, letters, printed pages from websites. "I found some messages on her computer," the man explained. "She was talking to someone online, a man. He said his name was Daniel, and he lives near a town called Ashford. That's where this train is going. I think she went to meet him." Tom's town, Ashford, was actually 2 stops before his own station. He knew it well. He grew up there. "I know Ashford," Tom said slowly. "I grew up there. My family still lives close to it." The man's eyes opened wide. "Really? Maybe you can help me. I don't know the town at all. I don't know where to start looking." Tom thought about his plan for the weekend. Dinner with his family, a walk in the park with his old school friends, nothing important. He looked at the man's face, tired, worried, desperate. "Okay," Tom said, "I'll help you. But we need a plan. We can't just walk around asking people." The train stopped at a small station, and more passengers got on. A young woman sat across from them, listening to music through headphones. She looked at her phone and then quickly looked away, like she didn't want anyone to notice her. Tom didn't think anything of it at first. But the man, his name was Richard, Tom learned, kept looking at his daughter's photo on his phone, showing it to Tom. "This is her. Her name is Emily." Tom looked at the photo. Blonde hair, a shy smile, maybe 15 or 16 years old. Then Tom looked at the young woman across from them again. She had the same blonde hair. She was wearing a hat and her head was down, but something about her face. Tom's heart jumped. He looked back at the photo, then at the woman, then back at the photo again. He wanted to say something to Richard immediately, but he stopped himself. What if he was wrong? What if this was just a strange coincidence? He didn't want to cause a scene on a busy train for nothing. Instead, Tom stood up slowly. "I need to use the bathroom," he said to Richard. "I'll be back in a minute." He walked past the young woman's seat, trying to look at her face without being too obvious. She noticed him looking and turned away quickly, pulling her hat down lower. That's when Tom saw it, a small tattoo on her wrist, just like the one in a second photo on Richard's phone, a photo of Emily at a birthday party last year. It was her. Tom was almost sure. Tom went to the bathroom, not because he needed it, but because he needed a moment to think. His hands were shaking slightly. What should he do? If he told Richard directly, in front of everyone, Emily might panic. She might run to another part of the train, or worse, get off at the next station and disappear again. And why was she hiding from her own father? Was she scared of him? Was he a good father, or was there another story here? One Richard hadn't told him. Tom didn't know Richard. He had only met him 20 minutes ago. Everything Richard said could be true, or some of it could be lies. Maybe Emily had good reasons to run away. Maybe Daniel wasn't dangerous at all. Maybe her own home was the dangerous place. This thought scared Tom more than the black bag had. He splashed water on his face and looked in the small bathroom mirror. "Think, Tom, what's the right thing to do?" He decided on a plan. He would talk to Emily first, alone, before saying anything to Richard. He needed to hear her side of the story. Tom left the bathroom and walked toward Emily's seat. His legs felt weak, but he kept walking. "Excuse me," he said quietly, sitting in the empty seat next to her. "I don't want to scare you, but I think I know who you are." Emily's eyes went wide with fear. She started to stand up, but Tom put his hand up gently. "Please wait. I'm not going to hurt you, and I'm not going to shout for anyone. I just want to talk for 1 minute." Emily sat back down slowly, her body tense, ready to run. "Your father is on this train," Tom said. "He's very worried about you. He thinks you came here to meet someone called Daniel." Emily's face changed from fear to something like anger. "Daniel isn't real," she said quietly. "I made him up. I needed my dad to think I was meeting a stranger so he wouldn't understand the real reason I left." Tom was confused. "What's the real reason?" Emily was quiet for a moment. Then she spoke, very fast, like she had been holding these words inside for a long time. "My mother is sick. Really sick. She's in a hospital in Ashford, but my dad doesn't want me to see her. They're divorced. My dad hates her, and he doesn't want me to have any contact with her family. But my grandmother called me and said Mum is dying. I had to see her. So I ran away because I knew he would never let me go." Tom sat there, silent, trying to understand this new information. This wasn't what he expected at all. "So, there's no Daniel," Tom said slowly. "No dangerous man. You're just going to see your sick mother." "Yes," Emily said, tears in her eyes now. "But my dad will never believe that. He'll think I'm lying, like always. He'll take me back home, and I'll never get another chance to see her." Tom felt stuck between two people, both scared, both maybe telling the truth in their own way. He remembered what his own mother always said. When you don't know who is right, ask more questions before you decide anything. "Can I ask you something?" Tom said. "Why does your dad hate your mum so much?" Emily wiped her eyes. "He says she left us. She moved out 2 years ago. He says it was her choice, that she didn't want to be a mother anymore. But that's not true. She left because he wasn't a good husband. He was controlling. He didn't let her have friends or a job or any freedom. She left to save herself. But now she's dying and I need to say goodbye." Tom believed her. Not because he had proof, but because of the way she spoke, simply without trying to make herself sound like a victim, just telling facts as she understood them. "What do you want to do?" Tom asked. "I want to get to the hospital before it's too late," Emily said. "But if my dad finds me now, he'll stop me. He'll turn the train trip into a fight, and we'll never get there in time." Tom made a decision. "Okay," he said. "Let's think about this together. What time do we arrive in Ashford?" 20 minutes, Emily said, checking her watch. "And where is the hospital?" "Near the train station, 10 minutes by taxi." Tom nodded. "Okay, here's an idea. When the train arrives, get off quickly and go straight to a taxi. Don't wait for me or anyone. I'll talk to your dad and try to keep him calm so he doesn't cause trouble. Once you're at the hospital, call him. Tell him the truth. Tell him everything you told me." Emily looked at him with surprise. "You would do that?" "You don't even know me." "I don't," Tom said. "But I think you're telling the truth. And even if your dad is angry with me later, that's okay. Some things are more important than a stranger being angry." Tom went back to his seat next to Richard, his mind racing, trying to think of the right words. "Did you see anything?" Richard asked immediately, noticing that Tom had been gone a long time. Tom took a deep breath. "Richard, I need to tell you something, and I need you to stay calm." Richard's face went pale. "You found her. You saw Emily." "Yes," Tom admitted. "She's on this train, but there's no Daniel. She made him up." "What? Why would she?" "Because she's going to see her mother," Tom said quickly, before Richard could get angry. "Her mother is in the hospital in Ashford. She's very sick. Emily said her grandmother called and told her it might be the last chance to say goodbye." Richard's face went through several emotions quickly. Shock, confusion, then something that looked like guilt. "She's dying," he said quietly. "That's what Emily told me. I don't know if it's true, but Emily believes it completely." Richard put his hands over his face. For a moment, Tom thought he might cry. "I told Emily she couldn't see her mother," Richard said. "I said terrible things about her mother, things that maybe weren't completely fair. I was angry about the divorce. I made Emily choose sides. I didn't think about how that would hurt her." Tom stayed quiet, letting Richard think. "Where is she now?" Richard asked. "She's on this train, a few seats away. She's planning to get a taxi to the hospital as soon as we arrive. She's scared you'll stop her." Richard closed his eyes. "I don't want to stop her," he said. "I was wrong to be so angry. I was scared she left because of Daniel, some stranger from the internet. I didn't think about the real reason. I'm a terrible father." The train began to slow down as it approached Ashford Station. Tom could see Richard's hands shaking. "What do you want to do?" Tom asked. "I want to see my daughter," Richard said, "but I don't want to scare her or make her angry. Can you Can you help me? Tell her I know the truth, and I'm not angry. Tell her I just want to be there for her." Tom nodded and stood up. He walked over to Emily's seat. "I told your dad everything," Tom said. "He's not angry. He wants to come with you to see your mother. He said he was wrong." Emily looked shocked. "He said that?" "Yes, he's waiting. Do you want to talk to him?" Emily was quiet for a long moment, looking out the window as the station came into view. Finally, she nodded. The train stopped. The doors opened. Passengers began to move, some getting off, others getting on. In the middle of all this movement, Richard walked slowly toward his daughter. "Emily," he said, his voice breaking. "I'm sorry. I should have let you go from the beginning. Let's go together, right now." Emily stood up, tears running down her face, but this time they looked like tears of relief, not fear. "Okay, Dad," she said quietly. "Let's go." They walked off the train together, father and daughter, moving quickly toward the taxi area outside the station. Tom watched them go, feeling a strange mix of happiness and sadness. Happy that things had a good ending, but sad because he would never know what happened next. Did Emily reach the hospital in time? Did she get to say goodbye to her mother? He would never know. That's how life works sometimes. You help someone for one important moment, and then their story continues without you. Tom looked at his phone. His own station was next, just 5 minutes away. He put his phone back in his pocket and looked out the window at the fields passing by. His mother would be waiting at the station, ready to ask him 100 questions about university, about his classes, about his life in London. He would tell her everything, except this, except the story about the stranger with the black bag, his missing daughter, and the 20 minutes that changed a family forever. Some stories, Tom decided, are better kept quiet, not because they're secrets, but because they belong to the people who lived them. The train slowed down. Tom stood up, picked up his bag, and got ready to go home. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the story. Subscribe for more English stories. Keep learning and see you in the next video.